welcome into my channel. I'm Amy. Thank you for joining me today for this wonderful update for my deck of panning project pan. I find that project panning is a really great motivator to rotate through my makeup collection so that I'm touching all of the products and trying to reach goals of using some of those products up. If you're someone that has a larger makeup collection, you might want to consider doing a project pan just to make sure that everything gets used and loved in some capacity. This deck of panning project pan was created by Emily and Max, and I'll have all of her information listed below. It's a fun collaborative project where we use a deck of cards and a game board, and you sort of randomize what product you want to pick and the goals that you want to set for that product. I've been doing this project for a few years now, and it is one of my favorites. While I am kind of toning down the amount of projects that I am working on, this one will pretty much always stay consistent because it's just a lot of fun with this randomization of the cards, and the prompts are always different every month, and that keeps things lively and fresh. So today's update's not super fabulous because, to be quite honest with you, when I have to count uses on things, I very often forget. And as we go through, I'll tell you why I have forgotten. But first we're going to start with this one, which was a goal to use up. And it is my LA Girl Brow Bestie Eyebrow Pencil. I'm so close to being finished with this. That's all that's left. And I am finding that it's getting harder to be a little, it's already a big pencil anyway, but it's getting a little harder to be precise with it because it's getting so close to the bottom. I'm really hoping that by the time I update this project next month, it's gone. Now here's where things get interesting, and I have no idea because I have been getting ready in the living room in the morning because I have started watching Prison Break, and then you have Only Murders in the Building, and I found this new show called High Potential, and I started watching Grotesquerie, and it's really, well, some people might think it's like artistically cool. I find it a little like weird. It's very weird, and I feel really weird inside after I watch it, so I stopped watching that. Anyway, all that to say that I like to watch TV in the morning while I'm getting ready instead of getting ready here in my makeup room, where I usually keep my little tapes and things that I do for tubes like this. If it's an eyeshadow palette or whatever, I'll put tape on the back and I can track my uses that way. But these tubes, I usually just have a piece of tape on my table, and that's how I track my use. So all that to say, yeah, I have no idea how many times I've used this. It's the e.l.f. Cool Beans No Budge eyeshadow pencil from e.l.f. And I had a goal to use this 15 times. And I really feel like I'm close to that. I probably, the first month I had it in, had used it probably 7 times. And then maybe this past month I used it a couple more. It's something that I just forget to use. So I really need to make sure that I'm meeting that goal. So as far as amount of product that I have used, you can see my line marking at the origin of this being in the project, and I have used a little bit of it, and that's very encouraging. I do like to use this as a lazy liner kind of situation, but it would be kind of cool to start using it more what it's supposed to be, which is an eyeshadow. So might try to do that sometime soon. But I'm going to leave it in one more month and just try to promise myself that I'm going to remember to use it several days out of the week, and then I know that I'll have met that goal. The other thing that I have no idea, because again, I've stopped marking it on my tape because I don't get ready in here, but when I was marking it, I had used it 4 times, and I know that I've used it at least 2 or 3 more times, and it is my Persona Multistick in the shade Guava. I love this stick because these multi-sticks from Persona are very pigmented, easily blendable. They also have a really cool glow to them. While it doesn't look like it would have a glow, it really does have a nice shine, which makes me feel like I don't need a highlighter, so it kind of saves a little bit of a step. All that being said, I honestly don't know. I know that I've probably used it about 7 times now, and my goal was 30. So I have a long way to go, and I need to remember to use this a lot more often, which is going to kind of be a problem because I do plan on doing a 1 week, 1 palette using one of my new eyeshadow palettes from Alter Ego, my first purchase, and this is a cool tone palette. So I don't know how this isn't going to get used for a while. Moving on. The next products that I had in here were for some kind of prompts that had to do with like a trio of things. Kind of three's a crowd, I think is what it was called. And so I chose my 3 color correctors, and I don't remember how often I've used them. I had it on this tape, and I know that I had used the Clinique 2 times. So I've used this one at least 2 times. I used the Flower Beauty one 2 times, and I used the e.l.f. one 1 time. My goal was to use each one of them 3 times, so I'm just going to keep these in 1 more month and continue to try to compare them and think about them and get some more use out of them. I don't use color corrector every single day, so it's kind of hard to remember to use that. But the one product that I did reach my goal on was the little mini like moisturizer from Sol de Janeiro. I was able to finish that up pretty quickly after I added it to the project, and I'm very thankful for that because that means I get to draw a new card. That's always the fun part of things. I always have my, at least I have 1 joker in there. I always take out the pink joker, and the blue joker is in my deck of cards. I love the randomization of all of the prompts that Emily does every month. That randomization just keeps you motivated and inspired, where you're not just picking a product at random. You have to kind of think about, you know, like that three's a crowd prompt. I had to look at my collection and see what do I have 3 of and kind of compare those things. All right, so I shuffled my deck a few times, and let's draw the card. I'm going to take a look at the prompt for the card and pick my product, and then we'll come back and discuss. The 4 of Hearts. Thank goodness it's not the Joker. Okay, let me take a look at what that is, and we'll come back. So this was a pretty cool card. The 4 of Hearts this month correlated to vacation/travel. And my mind first went to my 2 face palettes. One I actually bought this year when I was on a work trip, and it's the Physicians Formula Butter Dream Team palette, and it even smells like vacation because it has that classic Physicians Formula scent. However, I did just have this in my project for the blush and wearing off the pattern in the middle of the blush. So I didn't want to choose that again, although I really do like that palette a lot overall, except for the highlighter because it's very cold. But overall, I really like that. So my next thought was my other face palette, which is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Elephant palette. I bought this online when I was on a little like mini getaway trip with my family, like for the weekend, a couple of years ago. And so even though I didn't actually acquire it on the vacation, I purchased it on the vacation. So when I think of this palette, I think, ooh, I saved $10 on this palette. I think about the hotel that we stayed in. I think about the card show that we went to. I think about the really cool hotel, how it had some really cool features like about that hotel. So overall, this palette brings me some pretty cool memories. My goal is going to be to use it overall 20 times. The blushes are very, very pigmented, so I don't use them a whole lot. I do use this bronzer I have it on today, and I do use the 2 setting powders quite often. So just overall, I want to use this 20 times. And I already have my tape on the back, and I'm even going to put a pencil in my makeup bag so that when I'm in the living room, I'll remember to mark it and have no excuse to when I report back to you next time to be able to not tell you how often I used it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found some inspiration in this video to be able to pull out some things that you maybe have neglected, or to consider starting a project pan to give all of your makeup collection a little bit of love. I'll see you in another video. Bye!